Hello, welcome to Tiki Oasis TV. This is Tiki Oasis 18 South Sea Cinema, and I am Lee Joseph. I am the Tiki Oasis public relations person, also known as DJ Lee, and I have with me here David Marley, author of Skipper's Stories, True Tales from Disneyland's Jungle Cruise. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Tell us about your book.
My book is a collection of stories from Jungle Cruise skippers from Disneyland. So it's an oral history of all their wild stories and trouble they got in and accidents that happened and celebrities they met. And I was a skipper for years, so there's a lot of my stories in there too.
Excellent. And you're going to be doing a symposium. It's on Saturday?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Saturday morning.
And you're just going to talk about the book and your experiences. And what else might you be presenting at the symposium?
I'm going to be talking about the role that movies played in the creation of the Jungle Cruise. So talk about the African Queen, and I have some surprise stuff about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and how that played a role. So I'll do that, and then I'll share some of my wild stories.
Oh, that's excellent. So how did you end up collecting all these stories? Well, actually, what made you, what inspired you to write this book?
I'm a historian by trade, so I'd written some other books. And a publisher approached me about writing a book where I got one skipper from each decade to explain what the Jungle Cruise was like in that decade. And I said, no, how about one where I interview as many skippers as I can get and put them all, because every skipper, even ones I don't think are super funny, have at least one good story. So I have skippers in there who were there the very first day the park opened, guys that worked with Walt. I have current students of mine who are still working at the park in there, so you get a nice broad range of stuff, and it's just a lot of fun.
That sounds like fun. What about any potential legal entanglements? Did you have to go through any attorneys or anything like that?
No, Disney was actually really helpful. I interviewed an Imagineer, actually a couple of Imagineers who are friends of mine, and Disney was on board with it. They approved some of the interviews for people that still work there. They looked at it, and some people told me stories that we put in the book. I'm like, I wouldn't want them to know I stole all that stuff. So, but they were happy with it. But Disney's, I found out that the new Jungle Cruise movie that's coming out next year with The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they bought copies of that book for the production team.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have a quick favorite story you'd like to tell Tiki Oasis TV watchers?
What I'm famous for is a very non-Disney moment of being very rude to a guest. I was loading guests into the back of the boat, and you make them go around to the front, and you kind of hold them by the elbow, and you load them in like this. And this gentleman sat right in the back of the boat, and the whole thing was empty, and I was trying to get him to move to the front. I'm like, sir, could you please stand up? Could you please stand up? And he looked at me and said, I am French. I can sit wherever I want. And that was kind of a German accent. It was all over. It was spotty. All right, thank you. So I was still holding his elbow, and I wasn't thinking. I teach history, so I wasn't even thinking. I just went, Winterwarn, you can sit wherever you want, and I move it. And he stood up and walked to the front, and I looked up at the guy. When you're loading, there's a guy, we face each other, and I looked at him, and he went, you're fired. And I'm like, he's not going to complain. And we kept loading people on the boat. And so I became famous for that one moment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Who published the book?
Theme Park Press. They do a lot of Disney stuff. So they like this. The sequel to this, because America loves a sequel, More Skipper Stories is coming out this fall. And I'm working on a History of the Jungle Cruise book. So they've been very supportive and very nice. Yeah.
Congratulations. Once again, I am Lee Joseph, Tiki Oasis public relations person. This is David Marley, author of Skipper Stories, True Tales from Disneyland's Jungle Cruise, and he's doing a symposium here at Tiki Oasis 18 South Sea Cinema. And thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to the symposium and the book.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.